This is me. As a 31-year-old woman with no work done besides lip injections 3 years ago. I still don't get why people are so pressed about my TikTok saying 30s are the new 20s. I personally feel like I look better and am just all around better in my 30s than I was in my 20s. So here's what I look like day to day as a woman in my 30s. So it gets better if you take care of yourself and view yourself as an investment. Every single decade is going to get better and better and better.
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we'll see how a man makes the biggest mistake of his life by forgiving his wife's infidelity, only for her to cheat on him again. And it gets even worse when he discovers the devious trap his unfaithful wife was trying to set for him. We'll also see how a woman admits she got married just for the title of wife, knowing she was going to divorce eventually. We want you to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're aiming to hit 150,000 subscribers before the end of the year. A big thank you to those who support the project through Super Chats and by sharing their experiences in the comments. That's what makes this community grow. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Now, let's get started.
So I just got a major update on some drama that I thought you guys might be interested in, and I would like to share. So I live in a very small town, and word gets around, okay? So there's a husband and a wife, okay? They get married, have a bunch of babies, buy a house, living the dream, right? They are loving life. Well, the husband catches the wife having an affair, okay? And he's like, not cool, right? He's pissed. Anybody would be. And he says, like, you better cut him off, knock it off right now, or we're getting a divorce. And she goes, okay, I promise. I will cut him off. We're done. We're not the thing anymore. He goes, okay, cool. Well, a couple of months later, she's like, hey, I'm going to go out and drink with my friends, We're going out. We're going to have a girls' night at this bar. And he's like, a little unsure, because of everything that just happened. He's like, I don't know if I necessarily trust you, but I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Okay, go have fun with your friends, right? So he falls asleep on the couch. Around 1 a.m, he gets a phone call. So he wakes up, answers it, and it's his wife. She's freaking out. She's crying, bawling her eyes out. Like, you need to come pick me up right now. I need you to get here, like, immediately. He's like, oh my God, what's going on? She's like, just get here, just get here. So he goes to the bar, picks her up, and, her face is, makeup's running, eyes blotchy, crying, like, really freaking out. And he's like, what the heck is going on? Like, I don't understand, like, why you're freaking out as much as you are. And she's like, I just had a fight with one of my friends. Like, I really need to get home. Like, things are just not good. I'm not having a good night. Just please bring me home. He's like, wow, okay, let's go home. So they go home. A couple hours later, like 3 a.m, he hears this boom, 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 boom. And he's like, what the heck? On his door, they're home. He's like, what the heck? So he goes downstairs and opens the door, and there's another lady standing in the doorway, and he's like, who are you? And she's like, yeah, hi. I'm the wife of the husband that your wife was having an affair with. He's like,
oh, hell no!
Once unfaithful, always unfaithful. Brothers, as men, the only thing we ever ask from a woman is loyalty and exclusivity. That's why we marry her, even knowing we're entering a deal with the devil where we could lose everything just to secure exclusivity with that woman. The worst thing about forgiving a woman is when there's no system of consequences. If there are no repercussions, the person doesn't learn their lesson. They just get a scolding and go right back to their old ways once things cool down. Another red flag is those so-called girls' night outs, which often turn out to be an excuse to meet another man. Look at how she came crying to manipulate her husband, claiming she had a problem. Just like she did with him, many women do the same to their husbands. You see your wife suffering, and you ask yourself, where is all this pain coming from? Brother, she's not hurting because of you. She's hurting because of someone else. But let's continue. This is where the video gets good.
what? And she goes, yeah. Did you know I caught them this afternoon? I caught her in my bed with my husband, and I chased her out of my apartment. His apartment is right down the street from the bar. So the cogs in his brain are spinning. He's like, oh my gosh, that's where she was. And that's why she was crying and freaking out. She got caught and got chased out of the apartment, calls me, and that's why she's freaking out. He's like, well, what, like, oh my God, right? And she goes, I'm just here to tell you about her pregnancy because I just found out about this whole situation, found out that my husband's cheating. I just found out that she's pregnant, and I just found out that you don't know about it. Damn! So I wanted to let you know. He goes, thank you very much. Shuts the door, right? Confronts his wife. She's like, nope, 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 nope. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. Like, I'm not pregnant. I promise. Like, I swear to God. Well, come to find out, she was pregnant, and it wasn't her husband. So they get a divorce, right? So she gets together with the guy she's having an affair with. You know, all couples are divorced and separated at this point. So she had a baby a couple months ago, and it's been on Facebook, you know, congratulations, it's a little weird, like, you know, happy they're having a baby's a blessing, whatever. Can't change having a baby, right? Like, he's here. The husband, the guy that she's having an affair with, says, look, I don't think this is my baby. He doesn't look like me. I just have this feeling this isn't my baby. So we get a DNA test. And this is all new information. This is the information I'm finding out today. All that other stuff I just told you, old information, happened like last year, right? Come to find out, it's not his baby. It's not her ex-husband's baby either. There's a third party out there that has fathered this child, and we don't know about it yet. So, when I get an update, I will be vigilantly checking Facebook. I will let you all know, and we can figure this out together.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Brother, we can't make this stuff up. Once unfaithful, always unfaithful. This situation makes a few things clear. First, she cheated on her husband with more than one man, and she's one of those women who don't even take precautions. The second point is why every man insists that DNA testing should be mandatory. Women like this are sleeping around recklessly, not protecting themselves, and they don't even know who the father of their children is. Her ex-husband should also get DNA tests for the kids they have, because there might be another surprise waiting for him. That's why, when I hear a woman getting offended because a man asks for a DNA test, claiming it's a lack of trust, I have to point out that many men who've been duped into raising children that aren't theirs thought they were happily married. So don't come at me with that story. The truth is, responsibility is kryptonite for some women. We have to face the times we live in. Women today are worse than men in many ways. Now we see that the new man she cheated on her husband with was just another name on her list. Honestly, if I were him, I'd also get myself tested to make sure she didn't pass me some disease. Brothers, this man did everything right. A family man, and look how he was betrayed. Never forgive an unfaithful woman unless you're prepared to put her under strict consequences, because if not, this is how you'll end up.
I absolutely went into marriage knowing I was going to become a divorcee. There was no question in my mind. I knew at some point we would get divorced. The only question mark was when. I thought, when I'm 40, maybe I'd get that title. Maybe then I'd earn to, 10 years down the track. Because I think 10 years in a marriage, that's a pretty good innings in this day and age. That's like a good run. Turns out it's just a 3. In the end, that's all we kind of reached our limit with. But, still got the title in the end. And obviously, I don't want to get married ever again. However, double divorcee is a term that I'm living for. Like, that is cunt.
So let me get this straight. You really went into a marriage knowing damn well you didn't want to marry this man. You didn't think it was going to be long term, and you still sat up at the altar and said, I do. And you don't think that that's disgusting behavior to lie to somebody, to manipulate somebody, to look them in the eyes and say forever and not mean it? And the amount of women in her comment section that are basically saying that they're in the same situation and they're waiting until the 10-year mark to get whatever they can out of their husbands, which means they're lying to their husbands every single day for however many years. And then you expected to play this long game, expecting it to last 10 years, even though it only lasted 3. Which means you'd be lying to him for the next 10 years, and you don't see that as a problem. In fact, you think it's funny, like it's a flex that you're going to be a double divorcee. And just imagine for a moment a man came on this app and spewed all this nonsense about using his wife just for the title. Let's be so for real. We all know how this goes. These women get on the dating scene and they get treated the exact same way that they treated the men in their relationships or in their marriages, and they can't handle it. And then they get online and cry, where did all the good men go, even though they're basically breaking down and destroying all of the good men in the process. So they just perpetuate this same fucking toxic cycle and then blame all men. Like, since when is it cute to basically become an escort if you're marrying a man for money? Some of y'all need to stop using men and marriages as an ego boost and just fucking get yourself into therapy, but don't cry about all the men that don't want you, want nothing to do with you. And when you find a good man and he doesn't want you because you've been ran through, I don't want to hear any shit about all men are trash if you're perpetuating the cycle to creating all the men that are essentially trash by treating them like shit in the first place. Okay, bye.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Do you think she's the only one who does this? Many women see marriage as nothing more than financial security. That's why I always say that, on the wedding day, only the man gets married for love. The woman does it for a lifestyle. Only a man in love is foolish enough to enter a contract where he risks losing 50% of his assets, but he still does it. In the past, marriage had meaning. Nowadays, women get married for the title of wife, the big wedding, and the ring. Now, this same woman can proudly say, "I'm a divorcee." This is the reality young men face today. The insecurity of giving everything to someone who is only in it for their own benefit. That's why marriage is in freefall these days. Because it's not worth being with someone who, from the beginning, is already planning how it will end. We have an update on this story. The unfaithful woman who ended up pregnant. Let's see how it all turned out.
I don't have any big additional breaking news information, but I figured since the video is getting so big, I will give you a bit of a backstory of what happened in between them getting divorced and then her finding out that, or him finding out that the child's not biologically his. Okay, we're gonna have to come up with names for these people because I was just trying to explain it and I was getting myself confused. So we're gonna call the original couple John and Jane. Okay, so Jane is the one that cheated on her husband John, and John is the one that went to pick her up at the bar. Okay, and then over here, this other couple we're gonna call Don and Danetta. Okay, and Don is the husband that cheated on Danetta with Jane. Does that make sense? So we just found out that Don is not the biological father of Jane's baby, and neither is her husband, ex-husband, John. So there's a random mystery baby daddy out there. And now, understandably, right after this happened, John had kind of a bit of a mental breakdown. John and Jane have 2 kids together, a boy and a girl, and now Jane has her son, who's, I think, 3 or 4 months old. Anyways, so John had kind of like a mental breakdown. Like, truly, it was really sad to see kind of the stuff that he was posting on Facebook. You could just kind of see it, that he just was not doing okay. He wasn't in his, he wasn't in a good frame of mind. And he also ended up drinking a lot, which is really unfortunate. And he got a couple DUIs and got his license taken away and lost custody of the kids. So she has custody of their 2 kids right now. And I'm not really sure what's going on with him after that, but that's the last I've heard about John. So now Don and Danetta don't have any kids together. So when they got divorced, it wasn't really that big of a deal. Danetta kind of went her own way and Don and Jane kind of did their own thing. Danetta is actually doing very well for herself. She found herself a new man and she is killing it, slaying it, being a big badass boss queen. But she did like the post, which I thought was a little strange because I feel like if I were to find my boyfriend cheating and find out that he got another girl pregnant, we wouldn't be friends on Facebook, right? I don't know. I thought it was just a little weird that she liked the post. So maybe she knew, maybe this isn't the, this isn't the debut of this information. This is the debut for everyone else, but maybe other people have known for a while. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure it will come out because Jane keeps no secret.
The only one who came out winning here was Danetta, who did what John should have done from the start: leave the unfaithful partner. Look at how she moved on with her life. John, on the other hand, destroyed his own life. It's painful to see how a man who does everything right ends up ruined because of a woman. This man gave her a second chance after the immense pain caused by her first betrayal. She didn't care. She did it again. I want you to notice here how women are emotional beings. They make decisions based on how they feel, even if it's selfish, always prioritizing themselves. When she cheated on John the first time, she knew the damage it would cause to her family, the pain it would bring her husband and children. Yet she did it again. Now, she's even pregnant. Did she care about destroying her children's future? No. Did she care about mentally breaking her husband? Even less. Now the children see their father drowning his sorrows in alcohol while she's busy trying to figure out who the father of her child is. Listen carefully. Never forgive an unfaithful partner. Be like Danetta. Move on. It will always be better than staying.
Ain't it funny when you stop talking to a man because he is simply doing everything other than treating you right? Not taking you serious, playing with your time, not even taking you out on a date? Soon as you dub him, and it's been a couple weeks of you not contacting him, there he comes, strolling right back in, trying to act like he changed. All of a sudden, now he's trying to take you out. Now he's trying to show you that you mean something to him. And the only reason why he's doing that is because you're paying him no mind anymore. And he realized he officially lost you. So do not fall for it. He knows what he's doing, so I hope you know what he's doing. Because soon as you allow him back, he's going to treat you the exact same way he did when you first was talking to him. That man should have treated you right the first time around. So since he messed up his chance, there is no need to continue talking to him. Appreciate me the first time around, because there won't be a second. Just don't be delusional thinking that he changed.
And where is your effort? Every time I hear this, I ask myself how hard it is to be a man. As a man, you're expected to bring tangible things to the table. You have to be a provider, successful, capable of taking care of a family, have your life in order, and then also be loving, a good listener, thoughtful, and always making an effort to keep your partner feeling in love. It's a full-time job. If you neglect any of these areas, she'll leave. But the real question here is, what do you bring to the relationship? He doesn't appreciate my value, they say, but he gave you everything you asked for. Why don't you do the same? Why aren't you the one planning the dates, organizing the trips, or making the effort to prepare something for the relationship? Why can't you take the initiative in making plans for the two of you? Instead, it's always the man's responsibility, and your only contribution is your presence. On top of that, all the expenses fall on him. It's for reasons like this that men are withdrawing from the dating market. You demand so much and give so little. Even planning a dinner, one you won't even pay for, is too much effort for some. That's why we're seeing more and more women hitting the wall, because the wall doesn't forgive. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, here are some questions for you. Would you forgive someone for being unfaithful? If you do, what changes would you ask of them? Have you ever been cheated on? How did it all end? We've come to the end of the video, but we're leaving you with 2 stories of women whose divorces didn't go as planned. Also, don't forget to activate notifications as we release videos daily. See you in the next video of The Wall.